Okay. Okay, Shannon, if you want to go ahead and share your screen with us.
It won't let me while you are.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Thank you for. I want to not. Oh, that's right. My toolbar is here. Okay. How about now?
Perfect. All right. Cool. Can everybody see that?
Yes, now we can.
I'm just trying to get to. Oop.
All right. So just a quick thank you everyone for coming. It's happy to see you all here. And we do have a bit of an adjustment to our agenda. The Ypsilanti Library presenter, Kat, is going to reschedule with us. And so maybe in spring we'll have her come back. All right, Shannon, when you're ready.
Cool. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shannon Caniff, and I am on the mission advancement team at Avalon Housing, which means community partnerships, fundraising, public events, and things like that. I used to attend these meetings back when I was on the services side at another nonprofit. So good to be back. And then my coworker, Sean, is on here. I'll let him introduce himself. Oh, I think you're muted, Sean.
How's that?
Perfect.
All right, cool. Hi, I'm Sean Allen. I am the Family Services Team Lead at Avalon Housing.
Yeah, so we'll just give you kind of a brief overview of Avalon and what we do, and thought Sean would be best to kind of talk about services, and that might be what most of y'all are interested in anyway. Um, Avalon has been around since 1992, so a little over 30 years, and our mission is to build healthy, safe, and inclusive supportive housing communities as a long-term solution to homelessness. So we've advocated for affordable long-term housing and worked with the community to break the cycle of homelessness for over 30 years. Some of you might know, some of you might not, but we started kind of as a break off of the Shelter Association. It began when there was a house in the parking lot, or it's now a parking lot, but there was a house behind kind of where like Connor O'Neill's, like the Irish pub is over there, that parking lot. And they wanted to tear it down to make it parking. And, as unfortunately we are still dealing with now, there was an affordable housing crisis. And so a bunch of people from the shelter squatted in there and had this mantra of house people, not cars. And how it ended was somewhat of a win-win situation. That house was basically picked up and moved kitty corner. Um, so that house still stands today and is still an Avalon house. And then, as you probably know, if you're local, there is a parking lot there now. But that's how it all began. And now we are much larger, and we'll be getting into that a little bit more. But it was really like a grassroots kind of beginning. And we still have some people with us today that are affiliated with that beginning, which I think is really cool. Yeah, so the housing crisis, I mean, some of this is probably, I mean, it's many of you do this work every day, so you're aware of, how did we get here? And I think something that, when we say what causes homelessness, a lot of people might rattle off a number of different things, but they might not say lack of affordable housing. Like that's number one, right? Like if there's no affordable housing to be acquired, then that might lead to some tough decisions. And again, you probably all know what is considered affordable. It's something that is hopefully less than 30% of someone's income, but as we're all very aware, a lot of people are spending a lot more than that on their housing every month. Yeah, and this just looks at kind of like some of the historical overviews of homelessness in Washtenaw since after the pandemic. And I know that the point in time count is coming back up again, so it'll be interesting to see, how that looks. Obviously, it's one data point, but yeah, in total, homelessness has just increased a decent amount since 2022. Yeah, so our approach, I think a lot of people, I know when I was on the services end of things at a different nonprofit, I had heard of Avalon, and I just wondered, how can I maybe interact with folks at Avalon? How can I have the people I serve, how can they be helped by Avalon? It's an interesting process that I think is worth explaining, especially to people who might be looking to make referrals or are interested in that. So, but kind of to start, we're a very person first organization. So we meet people where they're at. Pretty much the majority of the people that we are housing have been chronically homeless. So that's homeless for over 12 months or several recent instances of homelessness. And while obviously lack of affordable housing is a really big part of that, chronic homelessness, there's a lot of other things that can go into that. And, we have a lot of people who have mental health diagnoses, physical health diagnoses, substance use disorder, sometimes a mix of all three. And we, since we are putting people first, we are also a housing first organization. So we believe in housing people, providing people housing, and then working with them on some of these obstacles that might have been a barrier for them to keeping housing. So we are here to radically accept people as they are, and then together face some of these obstacles when they are ready. Yeah, so kind of because of that, I don't think we have a slide that truly covers that, but just to give you all some background, we typically do not take direct referrals. So I say typically because this past summer, we opened a new building called the Grove at Viridian, which we'll get into in a little bit. And we did open, there were 50 units. We did open 20 of those up to the public who are income qualifying. So every once in a while we'll do that. There's a building in Carytown that's going up that is open to artists who are income qualifying. So it's me half that population and then half people coming out of homelessness. Some kind of a mix sometimes too. Like, doesn't mean that those people aren't necessarily coming out of homelessness, but so every once in a while we do have these open lotteries, but for the majority of the time, people come to us through that CHIP list. So people have, made their way through the shelter association, done all the assessments, and maybe eventually will find an opening with us after usually having a lot of other interactions with many of you probably. So it's tough because when we go to tablings or things like that, it's kind of hard to explain that to people who aren't right in it, but that's kind of how it functions just because we do serve this like more niche population. But, if you ever, that doesn't mean you can't reach out to me or to Sean if you guys ever have any questions about maybe your agency or where you work isn't directly in housing and you need just a little bit of like a orientation of things, definitely please reach out. That doesn't mean you can't reach out to us. And we do have a front desk that answers phone calls and will give people resources as appropriate who aren't yet with Avalon. But I always like to kind of caveat that to this group. But yeah, so kind of our core activities kind of given, so I've told you who we serve and kind of how they make their way to us, but not only are we we have buildings. So we are sometimes the owner and operator of a building and we've built it. I just mentioned 2 buildings that we've opened and then one that is opening, and those are owned by us, or the one that's coming up is also a partnership with the Housing Commission. And those are built from the ground up, and we are the it all starts with real estate development, acquiring land, and all the various things that go into that, rehab, new construction. A lot of what we're doing now is new construction, but and then we are also basically we are landlords. We're it's interesting because we're on both sides of this, right? So we're the landlord and we are, work on that side of things, but then we're also supporting the people, right? So it's what's really cool, I think, about Avalon is that we have enhanced property management. So people who might have had maybe a negative experience with landlords in the past, we have a really awesome team of property managers that are trauma informed and, are used to working in some situations that are really sensitive and will work alongside those people. And eviction is always our extremely last resort. But as you can see here, we have a 95% housing retention rate from the last year. So truly we stand by that. We want to keep people housed with us as long as they'd like to be. We are permanent supportive housing. So we have some people that have been with us for almost the whole time we've been around. Yeah, we want to make sure people stay housed. And then supportive housing services this is really the heart of what we do. So we have a huge services team that is divvied up between these three categories here. So youth and family services, we've got older adults, we have people that specialize in single adults. We have community building teams. We have a lot of very niche roles within services to make sure that we are really hitting everything that might be needed holistically. We really hit kind of all areas kind of the lifespan. Yeah, and this is just a little bit more kind of what I've already spoken about, just how we do things. And we believe housing is a human right. And these are the core principles that we follow. So I'm going to let Sean take over and talk a little bit more specifically about services and things like that.
Thanks, Shannon. So we'll talk about some wraparound support that we offer on services at Avalon Housing. Um, so, uh, Mental health and chronic disease management, that a lot of that work is done through our adult services program. Healthcare is another critical piece of long-term stability. So Avalon offers like a full spectrum primary care of primary care services through clinics at two of our supportive housing sites, and also through in-home um, primary care in our with our partnership with Packard Health. So many of our clients see Dr. Ravi and Nurse Catherine through Packard Health. Um, and these appointments are managed by case managers and other staff on the services team. So we also recently have therapy. We have a therapist who is part of the Packard Health partnership, and her office is at Miller Manor. But many of our clients from various locations will visit with that therapist, and it's a really um, easy way to access mental health care at Avalon. So also, I realized my camera went out, so I apologize. I'll try to turn it back on, but it doesn't stay on. Um, there we go. So we also support folks with substance use and recovery services. Our approach to substance use and recovery is kind of grounded in harm reduction and respect for where each person is in that journey. Um, Avalon staff is trained in motivational interviewing and harm reduction education. We provide harm reduction support and supplies, Narcan on site. We coordinate with 12-step programs and other educational support groups. That's something that case managers support their clients with all throughout Avalon, and also some 12-step programs are on site at some of our locations. So older adult services for our older residents, the goal is to kind of support independence and dignity. We have older adult specialists and home health aides that work directly with residents that are over 55, providing kind of hands-on support with ADLs. So that allows folks to kind of safely age in place. We also connect people to, outside resources that do that same kind of work. So in addition, um, we have a youth and family services team. So that's the team that I work on. So we kind of take a whole family approach, supporting mostly the head of household and navigating like school systems and other government agencies, advocating for kids' educational needs, overall well-being, healthcare. Um, in addition to that, we have kind of mindfulness programming, wellness programming. We have tutoring on site at two of our locations, some team groups. We've done sporting events for families. Um, so, and then the food assistance at Avalon is kind of supported through the community building program. So community builders are the folks who are working with volunteers to run pantries on site. We have pantries, six, six, six pantries a week. So there's one day where we have two, but there is always a pantry available at an Avalon site for all Avalon clients to help address their food insecurity. So that's through our partnership with Food Gatherers. Um, for folks who are kind of homebound or have mobility challenges, we will help people kind of get that pantry delivered to them or work with Meals on Wheels or other community programs. And that kind of covers those programs. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I know we're throwing kind of a lot at everyone here. I think there's a Q&A that we do at the end a little bit. Cool. Um, yeah. So, um, yeah, and then this is a little bit in the weeds maybe, but just for those who might be curious on how we select sites and properties, our buildings are funded by low income tax credits. So they have to be close to transportation, access to public amenities, be walkable. We want to make sure people are really integrated into their communities. Something that you'd notice or maybe not notice is that we don't put our name outside of any of our buildings, since we want to make sure to reduce that stigma. And we don't want people being called out if they don't want to be from living here. But we have had some great relationships with neighbors, and a lot of times our neighbors do know that we're there. But yeah, just a little something about us. The Grove at Verde. Yeah, these next few slides are just like a little bit of an overview on some of our new properties that are coming up. So Sean, I know you've been at the Grove a lot more. I don't know if you've got anything you want to add from here, just on how that's been going. But that opened in this summer, 50 units from 1 bedroom to 4 bedroom, and a lot of families that came into that one. Sean, I don't know if there's anything more you want to add or.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting time at Avalon because of the Grove and to have that many units with multiple bedrooms. It's definitely a need for the community and family sizes. And so yeah, things are just getting moved. We have a lot of cool programming over there. There's a lot of energy at the Grove. So lots of programming for the youth and for parents, including like the community builder now, I believe, is doing like cooking classes, budgeting classes, like really has a lot of good ideas. So, when people get housed, they come with a lot of needs. And so there's a lot of excitement and then a lot of unmet needs that need to be addressed. And so we're busy working on helping clients with some of those goals. It's also kind of led to a new school partnership um, with Allen Elementary. We hadn't had kids at Allen until now. Now we have a lot of kids at Allen. So that's a new thing that's exciting, and we're navigating that. And it's been really cool just to watch everything kind of get built and folks getting settled.
Mhm. Yeah. Another thing I like to point out, well, that is speaks to the need for affordable housing in the community is when we did open those 20 units at the Grove to be applied for, we had 7,000 applications. So this was around this time last year. So yeah, really speaks to the need, especially for families. Um, yeah, this is the next building that's going up in Carytown, Dunbar Tower. This is the one that's like half for artists that are seeking affordable housing, and half for people that are coming probably out of the shelter association. And yeah, that's gonna be it's an awesome location. I mean, right by the Carytown markets and really just right downtown. It's gonna be cool. We currently serve people in Ypsilanti, who might be living at like scattered site units, but this is going to be our first building that we own in Ypsilanti, which is really exciting. I should mention, so we have 30 properties now, but the majority of them are in Ann Arbor. We do have one in Dexter and one in Chelsea, so this is going to be a pretty big move, which is exciting. Um, and then this one's a little bit down the pipeline. This is an addition to a different building that we have off of Maple. And this one, when we opened Hickory Way 1 and 2, because those buildings are currently lived in, that was in 2021, I believe. And when they did move in, we were able to bring down chronic homelessness in the county by 30% with how many people we were able to move in there at once from chronic homelessness, which I think is really cool. Yeah, we talked a little bit about our retention rate. All of you are, I'm sure, very aware of Hawk and who to call with all of that. This is where we direct folks who are calling us directly. And then just different ways to get involved. We've got great volunteers in all of our food pantries and at our front desk. And we have great service days where people clean up outside of our buildings. We have an awesome basic needs pantry that is really supported by the public. We're also huge with advocacy. We go to Lansing, a few times every year. And we speak pretty regularly with local legislators just about housing and put our voice in there as well. You might find yourself on this list. This is our vast group of partners that we're so grateful to. This work is not done alone, as you all are aware. And here's how you can get in contact with Sean and I if you need to. Yeah, so that is a quick, a lot of information that I'm giving you all. So I'm happy to take any questions. I'll stop sharing so I can see.
Anyone feel free to unmute or put in the chat if you have any questions. I have a question while everyone's thinking or typing out theirs. Do you, Shannon, have just kind of like a breakdown, like just a rough estimate of, I know you have Amazon or Avalon has several properties, but what is kind of the general number of how many maybe units or people that are being served by
Yeah,
Avalon? Do you have kind of a rough estimate?
Yeah, we're at a little over 1,000 now after people
Okay.
served after the Grove, and about 25% of those are children. And last I checked, I want to say we're at about 534 units that are online.
And again, I am so grateful for this presentation. Thank you, because it is really great. And I hope everyone else here on the call has now a better understanding of the role that Avalon Housing has in the community and what it is that all that you all do as the organization does. So thank you. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have
Happy
any
to do it.
questions come through?
Looks like Courtney has a question.
Thank you. Thanks, Shannon and Sean, for presenting. Question regarding when we're working with clients who we need to get in touch with their workers. At Avalon, we're running into a lot of situations where we're not able to get a hold of the workers, or they have a new worker and we don't know who to contact to actually get that person's information. What is our best avenue for figuring out who a good point of contact would be at Avalon when we need to get in touch with somebody's worker?
Sean, do you have a good answer for that one?
Yeah, I would say me. You could call me. I could help with that. Some of my co-team leads could help with that. I know some folks do call, the front desk and get hooked up that way, which isn't always the the quickest way, but I could throw my email in the chat and you could always email me and I can connect you to workers
Okay.
across
That's,
any program.
all right. That's super helpful. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sean.
of course.
Thanks, Sean.
All right,
Right.
any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you, Sean and Shannon, for doing this presentation. I will have your slide, or I have a copy of your slides, so I will also have those available on our Barrier Buster website, and I will email the slides out to when I send out that reminder that the video is ready. I'll have the slides, so if anyone else would like to see the slides. Great information. Again, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. We appreciate it. Everyone have a good holiday and happy new year, and hope you've got some time off coming up.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Do we have Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Kelly.
Hi,
Are
everyone.
you prepared to share your screen and share your slides with us?
I sure can.
Okay, well, when you're ready, you go ahead.
All right. Can y'all see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, because I can't see any of you anymore. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Kelly Lepper, and I am with the Accounting Aid Society. And I have my coworker on here, Mesa Rahal, and we are going to share a little bit about our organization, what services we offer, and then also what volunteer opportunities that we have available in Washtenaw County and beyond. So I'm going to pass it over to Mesa.
Hi everyone, my name is Maysa Rihal. I've been with Accounting Aid Society for 11 years so far. I began as an intern, and over the time I've grown with the organization, and I'm so happy that I am doing this mission and this meaningful work. So today we're gonna get started with talking a little bit about the agency, about our mission, the purpose. So what we do, we provide tax preparation and accounting services to low and moderate income families, entrepreneurs, and any families in Southeast Michigan. So we started in 1972. We provided services in Southeast Michigan through tax preparation and other services. Every year, we secure around 30 million in tax refunds and credits to Michigan residents and small businesses. Our clients are very diverse. They come from low-income households with earnings of $18,840 or less each year. Our agency have multiple departments. So basically, the VITA program is our biggest program. We provide individual income tax preparation, federal taxes, state taxes, and local taxes as well. I'm going to go in depth later on in the presentation. We have our business AS Academy, which is our business academy that helps entrepreneurs and help coaching and technical assistance for any small businesses. And our LITC, it's the Low Income Tax Clinic that provides services with any like IRS or state resolution. Next. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about our services a little bit. So through VITA Accounting Aid, we have every year around 300 and more, like 380 volunteers were last year, Kelly. So we had 380 volunteers last year. We provide no-cost tax preparation, as I didn't mention the no-cost. So it's a no-cost tax preparation for low to moderate income families. And we help them get their earned income tax credit, child tax credit. This is on the federal side and so many other credits. And for state of Michigan, we help with like property tax credits and home heating credit. So sometimes we have individuals that come to us, they've never worked, and they tell you like, I don't have anything to file, but they forget that they still can get certain credits, like if they own a house, if they rent a house, if they pay a gas bill, they still can get credits. And it's $1,900 this year for rent rebate or a homeowner, like it's up to $1,900, and the home heating credit as well. So we provide all these services like all year round. Next. Okay, so we do have all year, we have 6 tax sites that open throughout like Wayne, Oakland, Washtenaw County. So we do have multiple sites that open all year around, and we have around 26 sites that are open during tax season. We offer bilingual services, like we have staff like Hispanic. We have a tax site in Lasad, which is next to the Mexican.
Southwest Detroit.
Yeah, Southwest Detroit. Thank you, Kelly. And there's a lot, like the community there is huge, the Hispanic community. So we have multiple staff members that they speak Spanish and volunteers as well. And we do have a location in Dearborn, which is the Henry Ford Centennial Library. And there's a lot of communities that speak Arabic, and we provide that language, language as well. We have volunteers that are trained and certified. So everyone is certified at our in the VITA program. They have to be certified. It's an IRS requirement in order for them to provide a quality service and to educate tax preparers on the process. We do have 4 services delivery. So basically we have our traditional sites, like the one in United Way, the Washtenaw one. And we have multiple sites that provide traditional in-person site. We have Drop and Go. We have our VITA ACE, the virtual program, which is off of, like we call the clients. We have a certain program. They can do it virtually if they can't come to the tax site. Also, we have mobile units. We visit senior homes. And sometimes we have it through Zoom. So if someone is having technical, like they're not IT savvy, we do have our team, the virtual team, they go to certain like locations. We have people on Zoom at our main site and someone that support them at the other location. And we do have our fully staffed call center available 5 days a week to schedule appointments and take appointments. Next. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Low Income Tax Clinic. It ensures fairness and integrity of the tax system for taxpayers who are low income or speak English as a second language. So they provide free legal representation on behalf of those in tax disputes with the IRS. We educate the clients about their taxpayer rights and responsibilities and advocate for taxpayers about relevant issues that impact them. So basically we have clients, if they're within the Low Income Tax Clinic income guideline, we have a lot of people that they come to us that they have issues with getting the refund, or as an example, they're separated, someone claimed the kids and they're not entitled to claim the kids. So IRS issues, they come to us and we'll be able to represent them and help them resolve any issues they have. Next. Accounting Aid Society is one of the 4 LITCs in Michigan that help taxpayer, again, achieve better outcomes in court, access tax credit and benefit administered through the tax code, resolve debts, levies, and liens, understand and navigate the U.S. tax system, exercise their right as taxpayers, comply with their responsibilities to remain solvent. Now, it's the Accounting Aid Academy, which is it helps small business owners and entrepreneurs build a solid financial foundation that positions them for success. So we educate them, we give them technical assistance, one-on-one coaching, tax preparation for small business owners that are equipped with knowledge and tools to understand their financial systems, financial decisions, and any access ultimately access capital. So basically, we have a team of staff that they meet with the business owners one-on-one. They coach them. They make sure they understand all their like their needs, what they need to do, and how they become successful with their business. Next. So again, it's for Accounting Aid Academy. They offer education and assessments, introduction to financial operation management through initial consultation, workshops, and presentations, and open office hour as well. Technical coaching services to owners, including income tax and sales filing, financial statements, and business accounting system, as I mentioned. The Accounting Aid Academy Excellence Series catering to micro business owners offer a unique blend of small group workshops and one-on-one technical assistance with a laser focus on a specific financial operations process. Custom Excellence Series can be built and delivered for CDFIs and BSOs wishing to sponsor a specific topic, including tax waive, QuickBooks, engaging a bookkeeper, generating and using financial statement for growth, among others. So basically, with the Academy, they help them with all their needs, QuickBooks, financial statements, one-on-one, anything they need, they will be helped through the Academy. The Academy is not like the VITA program. It's not a no cost, but it is a small fee. It's like comparing to other like CPAs, it's nothing. There is a fee for it, but they will provide them with the best and quality service that they need. Next. Okay, so that's it for me. I just want to mention that Accounting Aid, we have like the awards that we got, the Crane's Best Managed Nonprofit Awards. We received it in 2008 and in 2020, and we were on Magazine 2022 Diversity Champion. In 2017, Michigan Governor's Service Award for Outstanding Volunteer Program, and 2016 Bank of America Neighborhood Builder. So that's it for me for the VITA program and for all the the services that we offer. Now I'm going to let Kelly talk about the volunteer opportunities.
Thank you, Mesa. And most recently, we just were awarded United Way of Southeastern Michigan's Volunteer Partner of the Year as well. So we need to add that to the list.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
Okay, so along with all of our wonderful services, we obviously have staff members who help put all of that into work, but we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. So we have some opportunities that are coming up for this season that I just wanted to share with you all. We have tax prepare opportunities, as Mesa mentioned. So this is for our clients to get the best return on their taxes. And I want to highlight that you do not need to be an accountant. You don't need to have any previous experience. We train you on everything you need to know. And some, but we don't expect you to know everything and remember everything. We make sure that you have expert volunteer support and staff along the way, so you can always ask questions. A second set of eyes looks at every tax return that we do before we submit it. So if for whatever reason you enter in something wrong or the system doesn't catch it, that person will catch it. So no need to have fear about taxes. I know there's a lot. As a non-tax person, they can be daunting, and we try to make it as easy as possible for anyone to join us and to prepare these taxes. So it's a great way to give back to the community and then also to help people get access to those credits that they might not know about and make sure that they are set up for success. We ask our volunteers to commit to 30 hours of volunteering for the tax season. So that's anytime between late January and mid-April, they can join us, and they get to pick their own schedule. You can pick any of our 20 plus tax sites, and we are open Monday through Saturdays during the tax season. So there are plenty of volunteer shift opportunities to fit your schedule. And then we also have a preferred appointment club. We shortened it to PAC because that's a lot less wordy. But this is something that we call it a preseason opportunity, and it's taking place right now throughout the month of December. And it's a great opportunity for someone who wants to just kind of see what we're about. It would be actually making phone calls to our existing clients to set up their tax appointments for the upcoming season. So our call center that Mesa mentioned is always open, but they are not taking appointments until the new year. So this is a great opportunity for our existing clients to get first dibs on those appointments, and they are usually pretty grateful that we call them and help check one thing off their to-do list for the 2026 year. And then the preferred appointment club, this just goes into a little bit more detail about the opportunities. It does take place at our Oakland County tax site, which is in Ferndale, so not in Washtenaw County, but we welcome anybody from anywhere. They come to our site, and it's a 4-hour shift. You'll get trained a little bit at the beginning, basically on just how to use the phone system, how to enter in an appointment in the system. And then you will pass one of the IRS tests that Mesa mentioned. Very easy, and we make sure that everyone passes before they can make those calls. But no tax knowledge is needed. You don't need to answer any questions. You can say that's a great question to ask on February 3rd when you show up for your appointment. So anyone can join us, and we actually have one of those tonight. If you are real excited, you're welcome to join us. And then we have one on Saturday as well. But this is something that we offer annually. So if anyone is interested next year, December, we would love to have you. And then our tax preparer opportunities, we are actually running our training sessions this month and into January. And you just need to join us for one day. It's a long day, but it's full of information, and we feed you. And you will leave that day certified with the IRS. So we have multiple locations all throughout those 5 counties, and you will actually be preparing people's taxes and filing them for those low to moderate income families that Mesa mentioned. And the more details are on there. I already shared. We have lots of opportunities all throughout southeastern Michigan. And I did want to note, just because the Avalon people mentioned Platte Road, our location in Ann Arbor is just right across the street, also on Platte Road. So we have a tax site in the United Way of Washtenaw building. And then we also have one on Eastern's campus in Ypsilanti. So those are our 2 Washtenaw locations, but volunteers and clients are welcome to visit any of our tax sites. And then these are the next steps if anyone is interested, basically to create an account in our system, to attend the training session like I mentioned, and then our volunteer shifts will start in late January. So that is it for us.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions? Does anyone want to unmute or put in the chat?
I have a question. I'm Carol with the
Hi, Carol.
Hi there, Kelly. I'm with the Manchester Community Resource Center, and I don't know why I didn't. So we do the drop and go at our location every year, and have been doing that for years, and it's great. So thank you for that. I didn't really understand about the low income tax clinic. I know we have one of our clients still has not received her return. So should I be referring her to that low income tax clinic?
Okay, so the first thing you have to refer her to us first.
Back to
Yeah,
Accounting Aid Society.
yeah, to Sam,
Okay.
to Sam. So if you
Sure.
can email Sam about what's going on, the client's information, Sam will contact the client. We'll
Okay.
check in what's going on first. Then if
Yeah.
we feel like there's something going on,
Okay.
then we will refer her to the LITC clinic.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
And thank you, Carol,
Thank
and
you.
your team for all that
Of
you do.
course.
Kelly, someone said, can you include the link to the volunteer application in the chat? If you
Yes, I
please.
sure can.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Is there any last minute questions? All right. So I want to take this time now. Does anybody want to maybe, I don't see everyone. Maybe I can change the way I have this, but if anyone wants to unmute or and shout out or even put it in the chat, anything that you'd like to share about your agency, kind of take this time for just general network announcements, things to look forward to, anything that you'd like to share about your agency. Now is a good time. Right. Even quiet. We're closing out the year, and I know, and then the holidays are right here, so it's either everything's happening or not much is happening. Okay, well, if that changes, I'm going to go ahead. I don't hear any shout outs. So if that changes, oh, do we have someone? Yeah, Brittany,
Yeah,
please.
sorry. Yeah. Hi everybody. My name is Brittany. I'm actually coming as a representative from the Job Developers Alliance. So if you are not familiar, we are a collective of Washtenaw County-based organizations, and we come together to ideally kind of bridge the gap or provide resources for us as we're working with our clients. But we also do an annual job fair. And for the last 2 years, we've done an apprenticeship fair. And so we're come January going to be in the phase of planning for that apprenticeship fair. And so I wanted to just put it out there if any folks were interested in potentially joining the JDA as a whole, and working towards the things that we're doing. But again, just that collaboration, having other partners just to share those resources and make sure that we're providing services to our clientele. But if folks have partnerships or networks that are close to that apprenticeship angle or training opportunities, we would love to have that as a resource. Typically reaching out to some of those employers or folks that are offering those opportunities are a little bit hard. We do work closely with our mission of work partners to kind of get those details or get those folks on board. But again, networking, making connections is always very helpful as we're moving forward with those different initiatives. So I'll throw my email in the chat. So if folks do have any connections to apprenticeship opportunities or anything in the world of like trades, that information would be super helpful as we get together that program. And again, if you're interested in joining us as the JDA, you can also reach out to me. Like I said, I'll put my email in the chat. But yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful. Yes, definitely put your email in the chat.
Hi, my
And
name
if
is
you,
Nicole. Oh, sorry.
yes, hi, Nicole, go right
Hi,
ahead.
Hi, my name is Nicole Harris. I work with the Brighter Way in Washtenaw County. We work with individuals who have been justice impacted. We do help with social support and service connections. I will also put my email in the chat if anybody has any questions. Thank you.
Hi, Stacy. This is Julianne with Ypsilanti Township. Just a general announcement that starting in the new year, our Civic Center offices, township offices, will be open at lunchtime. Our daily hours will be Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, no longer closing at lunch. Thanks.
Okay, I see Jasmine put in a message. The Corner Health Center is busy with patients 12 to 25 and their children for medical therapy, OB, and psychiatry care and more. Good to know. Okay, thank you to our presenters, Mesa and Kelly and Avalon Housing. So grateful for all of this information. It's good for me to know. I appreciate the information for myself.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move us into talking about Barrier Busters. I can give that update. I want to share my screen. I put together a little Barrier Buster update to help remind me I want to talk about. Okay, so some things to know for Barrier Busters and our upcoming 2025 2026 funding. Right now we're still everything's still kind of pending. We're still trying to look at, we have some things in the pipeline as far as different funding sources that are going to come to Barrier Busters. So we're still working that out. I will have a clearer picture probably in January. And then as the nature of these things, funding kind of comes throughout the year. But I will have a better picture of what's going on closer into January or closer to January or in January. What I can say we will have for sure is the Washtenaw County General Funds. Right now we do have the SCIP funds available that you will want to go back to the listserv, maybe do a search for SCIP funds, and there you can find the link to the application form that Housing Bureau for Seniors is managing for the SCIP funds here. For that application for those funds. And then we always have the Ann Arbor Water Fund. That's a rolling ongoing resource that we can access. And then we do have housing funds for eviction and security deposits. But remember that those funds are accessed through HAWC and SOS through that pipeline. So we do currently have some housing funds. And another good bit of information is we did just recently, you may have seen on the listserv I posted that we have another approximately 150,000 that we just received from the Board of Commissioners that will be considered our Washtenaw County General Fund. So we will use that allocation and kind of put it towards our monthly allocation. So we have a little boost of the amount that we'll have from our Washtenaw County General Fund each month. So we'll see that the funds are available today, and then that fund will get grouped in with the Washtenaw County funds, the general fund there. So some more program updates as we go through. This next section is really for those that put in Barrier Buster requests. I'm going to send out some emails and notices to those that have our request portal access. I'm going to ask that everybody sign a new MOU form, the Memorandum of Understanding form for 2026. So you can look for that in your inbox. I will also be inviting those that haven't put in a request in, say, the last 3 months. If it's been longer than that, I will invite you to another optional refresher on the portal. We've had a lot of changes in this last year as we launched the new portal this year. We've made some tweaks and changes and additional features and so on. So for those that don't do it often, it'd be great to have you there to get that portal refresher. And then I also put in a note here that I want to update. So maybe some of you are aware of some of these high profile situations that are happening in Washtenaw County in our community. We have in Saline, Michigan, we have a Thorncrest rental property where there's been a number of residents who are being displaced from their unit. Their leases are not getting renewed. And so it's grabbing a lot of attention. And also Arbor One, which has been ongoing for several months now. These are high profile situations that are occurring. And for those of you that are finding these folks coming to your agency for support and you want to, and you may put in Barrier Buster requests for them on their behalf, if you could make sure to always put, when we have any of these high profile cases, put in your request specifically, for example, Thorncrest resident, forced to relocate, Arbor One. This is an Arbor One resident. That alerts us as Barrier Busters. It helps us track this particular group that is in this experience. The county wants to see in reporting, they want to see how many of the folks are we able to support that are coming from Arbor One, Thorncrest, or any other type of situation that might occur. So just to notate it in the request that this person that you're assisting is in this situation, coming from this situation, such as Thorncrest, Arbor One, etc. And that way we can tag it and mark it, and so we can track our support for them. And that's pretty much it. I think we had a very successful last month meeting in person. So I'm going to look to scheduling us again in spring to make sure that the weather's good and we won't have weather issues. So look for another in-person in spring. And in the meantime, we will just continue our Zoom sessions. All right, any questions that I can offer, Barrier Buster related or anything else? Okay. So what I'm going to do is thank you all. Happy holidays. I hope you have a nice everyone stays warm and everyone has a good holiday time. Maybe hopefully get some time off so we can recharge for the new year. I will be providing some more information as I get more information about funding and what's available. I'll provide all that to you. And you can always reach out to us at Barrier Busters and we can assist you that way as well. I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. Thank you for joining us. And I will sit on the call in case anyone wants to talk about a specific case or have any additional questions. All right, everyone have a great holiday break. Well, hopefully everyone gets a break. And we'll see you next month. Thank you.